One day, when Mother Yasoda saw that all the maidservants were engaged in other household affairs, she personally began to churn the yogurt. While churning, she remembered the childish activities of Krishna, and in her own way, she composed songs and enjoyed singing to herself about all those activities. It is described how Mother Yasoda was not an ordinary lady. Mother Yasoda was the wife of Nanda Maharaj, who was the king of Vrindavan. He was the leader of the cowherd men. And thus, Mother Yasoda was living in a nice place. We know it is described by Srila Baladevi Jabusam, who wrote a book called Aishvarya Kadambini, which describes the opulence of Krishna's residence. And he describes the palace of Krishna in Gokul and how the columns are made of lapis lazuli, how there was onyx on the floor. It was a very opulent place, and even the garden wall had a waterfall on it. And all along the wall there was a waterfall, so it was quite spectacular. So there, in that palace, Mother Yasoda was taking care of Krishna, and she was having many servants at her disposal who were assisting her in looking after Krishna and making all the arrangements. But this particular day, there was no one else, and Mother Yasoda, although she had many servants, it was not beyond her to personally churn the yogurt. In fact, she was very happy to do that, because she felt that whatever had to be done for Krishna had to be done in a very special way, not just casually. Like it is said that she was thinking how Krishna has this habit of stealing, which is a serious problem. There is one chapter also in this 10th canto, which is called Wonderful Krishna. And it is describing how Krishna is such an amazing, wonderful personality, and all the residents of Vrindavan are remembering. Krishna lifted Govardhan hill, Krishna danced on the woods of Kabir, Krishna killed Agasura, Krishna swallowed the forest fire, and then Krishna, so many things. Krishna is most amazing, most wonderful. Nanda Maharaj said, well, I mean, I don't know why you are all glorifying Krishna in this way and praising me and saying that I'm so fortunate to have a son like that. Said, rather, Krishna is a problem child. You may not know, but we know. We, his parents, we know he has so many problems, Krishna. So many problems because he's very lusty. That is the main problem. This boy is extremely lusty. Nothing can satisfy him. If you knew what we give him at home, we give him the best. And then so many cooks are preparing so many preparations. Even Radharani, she got benedictions from Devasamuni, that whatever she cooked turns out like pure nectar, that it extends the duration of life, and everything is just perfect. And each preparation that she makes is absolutely amazing. Still he's not satisfied. His mother makes so many preparations for him, he's not satisfied. After eating at home, he goes and eats at the neighbor's. And he gets a full meal there as well, and then to the next house, and the next house, and the next house. We don't know how he can eat so much, but he does. Everywhere, he eats in every house. And if that's not enough, then after he goes and steals yogurt, and butter, and so many things. And sometimes after he has taken and all his friends have taken, then they just break the pots and say, this yogurt is no good. It is not good. And then he feeds it to the monkeys. And when someone complains that he's feeding it to the monkeys, he said, what can I do? they did so much service for me in my last life. So like this, Krishna is speaking. When someone catches him and says, "You are a thief," then he says, "I'm not a thief, you are a thief." And then later, then he escapes, and then he comes back later to that house and passes stool and urine in that house to take revenge. He makes suitable sounds in the background. So, like this, it is described how Krishna is performing his pastimes, and it is said that Mother Yasoda is very worried. She is personally keeping special cows, 7 or 8 special cows amongst all the cows in Vrindavan, and those cows get fed the best juicy grass, so that they give the best and the sweetest milk. And this milk she uses to make different preparations for Krishna, in the hope that now finally he'll be satisfied with what he gets at home, because she's convinced that he doesn't like the cooking at home, and that is the reason why he's stealing. So she's in this way personally churning the yogurt, trying to make it very, 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 very first class. At the same time, while she's doing so, she's remembering all the childhood activities of Krishna, how Krishna and Balaram, when they were small, used to grab the tails of calves and then would be pulled and sliding through the mud. She's remembering all these things. And meanwhile, she is so much enlivened remembering these pastimes that she spontaneously begins to compose songs about them. And the other gopis are also making such songs. It is said that the ladies of Raja, they made rhymes about all the different activities of Krishna, and they made songs about them. And then Mother Yasoda had collected all these songs and began to sing them, and she sang her own songs, all just to satisfy the burning desire in her heart to see Krishna. Krishna was sleeping in another room. So even that was too much separation from Mother Yasoda. Krishna was in another room. We don't have that problem so much when we go from room to room. But Mother Yasoda was so strongly attached to Krishna. Dressed in a saffron yellow sari, with a belt tied about her full hips, Mother Yasoda pulled on the churning rope, laboring considerably, her bangles and earrings moving and vibrating, and her whole body shaking. Because of her intense love for her child, her breasts were wet with milk. Her face, with its very beautiful eyebrows, was wet with perspiration, and malati flowers were falling from her hair. While Mother Yasoda was churning butter, Lord Krishna, desiring to drink the milk of her breast, appeared before her, and in order to increase her transcendental pleasure, he caught hold of the churning rod and began to prevent her from churning. It is said that Krishna was sleeping in the room next door and woke up and started crying because he was hungry. He wasn't that small because he was walking. And he came up to Mother Yasoda, who was churning, and he just grabbed the churning rod. He was very determined. Stop. There's something else to do now. I am here. And he was. And she immediately, he desired to drink her milk. It said, Krishna started crying from hunger upon waking in the morning. Leaving his room, Krishna approached Yasoda and held the churning rod to indicate she should stop churning and attend to him. Yasoda's bliss increased unlimitedly upon perceiving Krishna's cleverness. Mother Yasoda then embraced Krishna, allowed him to sit down on her lap, and began to look upon the face of the Lord with great love and affection. Because of her intense